All right, greetings, welcome, welcome to Dorsey's Resource. To my subscribers, this is going to be a update and also open forum Q&A. This is going to be an update for you guys. But first, before we get started, I'd like to give a disclaimer. This video is for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. Please understand everyone's individual circumstance or situation may be different. It's up to every individual competent person to please do his or her own homework and research into the matter being discussed. This information is not to be construed as legal advice. In the event you feel you need to seek a competent professional, it is encouraged that you do so at one's own leisure. Dorsey's Resource channel is not liable or responsible for any misuse of this information. These are simply my thoughts and opinions and views on the topic being discussed. With that being said, all rights are reserved. Now, let's get started. I wanted to let you guys know I'm back. I didn't forget about you all, to my subscribers out there. I appreciate you, new subscribers, people that continue to follow my content. It's been very difficult for me to try to do a video as of lately because I had some topics that I wanted to kind of cover, to kind of get away from just like the redemption stuff, to show versatility because I have skill sets in other areas. But some of the things I previously discussed, I don't talk about that one particular currency as much. I don't really do any more videos on that. I have addressed stuff dealing with the reset, but some things came up recently. I wanted to let you guys know. I can't say the name, but some of you all who may know me personally on here that do know, that see my videos that are posted and everything, that know who I am, will be familiar and can relate. But however, you guys some of you all may be aware, I put out a message last year before the end of the year, that regarding some things that said, I may have to shut the channel down or whatnot. But behind the scenes, unofficially, there was this event, like I said, I can't say the name of, I attended some years ago, but I think it's my duty. I have to let you guys know to be prepared if Dorsey's Resource ever goes completely dark. I do appreciate those who share my videos. However, at the same time, certain content creators that re-uploaded some of my content, I may have to ask to request that they remove it. Things are getting more serious because I received a phone call some time ago, a few days ago, not too long ago, that said from this event that I attended, which I can't say the name of, some years ago, they said that I'm kicked out or whatever. But I had some other stuff going because they feel like this YouTube channel, the information I put out in my previous video, shared too much information or was too public or whatever. And I want to let you guys know I'm not trying to necessarily jeopardize my relationship or with them or what I had. The only people in the past that I did mention any names of was mainly dealing with administrators. You have to understand that these events, some other things I attended some years ago, there's people that meet each other at different seminars, different events, and I have no control over that, of who knows who, because people talk. So it's been speculated or being put out there that individuals that have seen my videos or know who I am or know me personally, you also have snitches out there too that watch my content and report back to these individuals. But I'm going to also, I may go over my ultimatum. I've still got to reach out to the individuals out there. It was requested or told of me to reach out to this certain individual and someone else, and I may do that. But I'm going to negotiate at the same time, because the elites or certain individuals that were part of that, I'm assuming, follow or subscribe to my channel. They may use behind the scenes ghost accounts or whatever, because information is getting back to me that there are individuals who are basically reporting back or trying to use me as a scapegoat for this beef or something they had going on some years ago with a certain individual I'm not even affiliated with anymore. I just used to attend these classes when I woke up years ago earlier on, but I have no relation or dealing to that person. But I can tell that there's a certain individual that may be trying to lobby or was lobbying to have me kicked out of this operation that I consider private clandestine operation, that these individuals don't want you to know about. And I'm kind of speaking in code. I'm not going into detail, but I'm going to give the reason. I need to see what playing field that we're on. I'm speaking directly to the elites or the constituents or whatever, the committee that the word got back to, is that I don't like to vacillate back and forth. All right, I'm back, guys. Okay. The same here. I'm not able to connect again. Isn't that something? I thought it was just me. You took it down. Okay. Thank you, guys. I'm back. I just read your comments very briefly. Seems like we had some type of malfunction. That's the first time ever since I've actually done live videos on my phone. I've had a disconnect. I've had it like stream disconnect very briefly, but it actually showed up on my phone and let me know. So for a while I actually had to shut it down, but I'm back with you guys now. I see some type of something going on YouTube. So just to give you guys a heads up, I might down the road, I might have to delete this particular video and just do a re-upload or shoot another video. But I want to thank you guys once again for joining me at Dorsey's Resource. But I wanted to give an update that behind the scenes, to make a long story short, from that event that I attended some years ago, I was basically being threatened because the last video that I did. So they said individual that knew me contacted me, said I was kicked out of this organization or whatever. But I heard some other ramblings by some people gossiping that there could be an individual that was lobbying to try to have me kicked out because he has a beef or feels like I'm connected with a certain individual who I'm not affiliated with years ago, but maybe because I know somebody that individual knows, but I don't have anything to deal with them on that level. But that's between that person and that situation they had. And this is, some of it could be coming from, because basically the guy, he's located out west towards the West Coast or whatever. But I'm going to give an ultimatum too, that the elites or people that are gatekeepers or you reporting information back, it's not that I can't keep my mouth shut. I can keep a secret now. I want to let this be clear, because it was stated, some individual said, you know, that I can't hold water, or, you know, I would not be maybe as trustworthy. I can understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, they have been negligent to us as far as not delivering on what they promised, with things getting delayed or not going into the clarification as far as why our payout has taken so many years and they're still holding our private documents. Why didn't certain individuals that were using that particular card years ago, I'm kind of speaking in code, didn't get punished and everybody else had to suffer as a result? At least those individuals got a chance to access their money or some type of funds. When I followed all the rules back then, I follow everything to the T. When I didn't hear any communication back from this certain individual for some time, I still kept my mouth shut. So at a certain point, you know, there's a breaking point with people that this is real dirty, because if this, like I said, if these individuals were on the public sector, they would have been in jail by now. It's simply maybe for the fact they know some loopholes and things, because they're on the private sector, they can get away with stuff. But you don't do people like this. You don't do regular public citizens, people you're claiming you're trying to recruit, and you want to do some humanitarian projects and claiming that you're coming off as though you're a Christian or you're philanthropic, you're a philanthropist, but you turn around and you're doing people dirty. That is not a good look. That's not good consistency. That is not good business dealing from a business professional standpoint. You got to understand where I'm coming from. So what I'm saying to these elites, to these individuals, I might have to redo this video if it doesn't come out right. But my message is, I need to know specifically. I'm going to reach out to the couple individuals if I can, but I need to know specifically, because I've seen inconsistency track record. And I'm not going to keep vacillating, going back and forth, because my next step, I'm not going to mention all the details, but because they're still in my paperwork, I've sacrificed a lot throughout the years. This is not the only thing that I'm part of or whatnot, but I don't want to keep going through this vacillation back and forth. We haven't been funded yet. At least you guys, these individuals, have had a chance to access their money already or understand the loopholes within the system, because they're already on the private sector, where they were taught by their parents, or they were sent to private schools by invitation only, or sent to private seminars by invitation only. Somewhere they got a heads up already, a head start, where they want us, that they recruited some years ago. It's not just that some of us were invited, but recruited, actually, because it was stated that this individual, I'm not saying the name, was going to unite people from around the country in the you-know-what movement and bring them into the, I'll just say, big house in New York. I won't say the other name, because that was supposed to be from the last video that I put out. Some individuals told me I was kicked out, said that because I mentioned the name of that organization, they were upset or pissed off or whatever. I didn't know something that minute, as petty as that is. And I'm not concerned about security, by the way. I actually work in security too, by the way. Just to let you guys know, I don't wear my uniform anymore. I told the story a long time ago. It is over here, and I don't show it in the video or whatever, but just to show clarification, or whatever. But if I'm going to give my ultimatum that because they're still holding my documents, my birth certificate, my social security card that was submitted, my paperwork with that organization, and I don't know what they did, what happened with it. I'm concerned. And when the individual resurfaced last year, he was questioned by this on a conference call, grilled pretty heavy by some individuals. My next move is, and it's not going to be no questions, I'm going to go to the authorities for sure. And I'm going to go to several authorities and agencies, and I'm trying to handle things in a fair, cordial way. But you don't, so, okay, it looks like the connection, we're having some type of connection issues. It could be them messing with the thing, because this is ironic. I looked at my data, my internet connect is paid for, so I don't know why I'm having these connection bandwidth issues or whatever. It's fine. The weather is fine where I'm at. It's calm, so shouldn't be having no connection issues. But I'm saying, hey, I'm gonna reach out to the individual, but I need to know. I'm really gonna give you an ultimatum that my birthday is in February. And if I don't see any funding happen by my birthday from this particular project, I don't care about the other ones. But if I don't see any funding or whatever, best believe I'm going to the authorities. And I'm not talking about one agency. I'm talking about several, because I have evidence. I have paperwork. There's people out there that think, and I'm being respectful, I'm not saying the name of this organization, but you're not going to be abusive to people, and you're not going to try to use other people that are part of this to demoralize me. It says, as soon as you mentioned to investigate your information, there became a connection issue. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, because there's some things, some word that I got about some things that's supposed to be taking place the next 3 months, that these tech giants were given the okay. And they are violating antitrust laws. They're using very discriminatory practices with censorship, also torturous interference, also invasion of privacy. I even saw on the local news here in Detroit, where I'm at, this was aired. I was at the car shop some years ago having my car worked on at the time. And it was this true story. I'm not making this up. I don't go to this shop anymore. I won't go into that, but it was this is a true story. It was on 6 Mile and Myers in Detroit, and they had the TV screen as I was waiting in the shop having my car worked on. It was Fox 2 News did a story. They're one of the news stations here, one of the 3 main ones. You have WDIV4, WXYZ7, and Fox 2. They had Fox 2 on. Fox 2 aired a story about the NSA, National Security Agency, about this declassified when Eric Snowden came out with this Operation Prism. And they said on there it was unconstitutional for them to spy and invade on American citizens' privacy. This is illegal. This is not no ifs, ands, or buts. So I don't understand why that on certain areas individuals want us to be compliant with, but they're not compliant by the laws, the rule of law themselves. This is a high violation, a high crime. So I'll recommend everybody seeing this video, you need to be complaining to your Congress members, your senators. They need to be doing something about this, because this affects everybody, even them. They're talking about they got satellites that can basically see, you know, everywhere you at. I'm not trying to get, you know, really esoteric. I won't go into the details, but a friend of mine was telling me how a guy showed him on his phone all the way to the T. To make a long story short, he was waving up at the sky and showed him on the phone how I could see from the satellites where he was actually at position. And this was some years ago. Now, can you imagine what they have now, what they're able to do? But this is a high invasion of privacy, violates the Privacy Act, and other things, very criminal. But this was on the local news. This was admitted. So, you know, I'm just gonna say I have my ultimatum as well. If I'm funded, I said I would have kept my word a long time ago. I wouldn't have never been on YouTube. Just pay us our money that was due, because that's owed to us. They shouldn't have attached the prosperity programs with the other thing. I won't say the name, but they shouldn't have. It should have happened already, bottom line. And it's people that are at the point, like, we're tired of your shenanigans, because some of you elite scum, and I'm gonna say you guys are scum, because you got a chance to access your money already, which deals with enjoying your life, your family, you're at peace. You know, you already have enough slaves in the system. I mean, and people that want to be brainwashed. There's those of us who paid money for these events, did our due diligence, we studied, we followed the rules, and you playing like this game of, what is it, cat and mouse, or you're dangling the carrot at the top, and you haven't delivered, but yet you're saying you want more and more and more and more. No, at a certain point, you've got to give. And if you don't, just put it this way, that, you know, things, I'm not going to say, but like I said already, I will go to the authorities, and I mean several, not just one in particular, but it's going to be multiple agencies. And I have evidence, paperwork, documentation to support. And you guys, it can be construed as fraud that these individuals are still holding my documents. It's not that I can't keep my mouth shut about anything. I can be quiet, but it's now time for you all to deliver. My ultimatum is for that particular organization, that particular event. This has nothing to do with, but meaning with the one with the big house that processed, that's holding, that got documents from us. I'm talking about that group that took our birth certificate, social security card, thumb drive, and I don't know where it's at. And they said, promised we were going to get it back. And we were supposed to be funded. And we're supposed to believe lie after lie. And we don't even know who's calling the shots behind the scenes. We're just supposed to trust you. And they said we will be funded. Here it is. We're towards already in the middle of January. And this hasn't happened yet. So I'm giving you till before my birthday in February. If this, I don't see this happen by then definitely you best believe, I'm not going to say what else, but definitely the authorities will be contacted. And I know there's some people say, well, what do you think they can do? Because many of them are bought, well, it's different groups, different classifications. And I don't believe everyone and I know in our government is not corrupt. There's a difference between the deep state and the shadow government. I can do a video, but we're trying to be fair. And, you know, we don't want to take it to that point, that level, but we have to have some leverage. Because it's not that I'm a snitch, but you have individuals that told on me that reported back to these individuals like it's a big problem. And I didn't really go into any details. I just mentioned the name of that corporation in New York. And some of this is coming too from Democratic operatives and people pushing an agenda or whatnot. But I'm not personally, I'm not a registered voter. I'm not Democrat or Republican, but I look at things from the outside looking in. I give my assessment. I'm a very fair person. I see pros and cons on both sides, honestly. Even though I admit I swing a little bit more towards the right, but they don't necessarily co-sign everything because I believe in reparations, and there's people on the right, they don't believe in that, for example. It's just one particular issue with things. So I look at things from a fair, balanced perspective. But at the same time, there needs to be some type of transparency. There needs to be accountability at hand. Most of all, accountability. If you expect us to be accountable, if you expect us to follow through and keep our word, then you all need to do the same thing and be accountable and keep your word, or else you're going to lose a lot more people. And I don't want to take it to this point, but names can be exposed and doxed down the road, down the line. So my ultimatum is I'm going to contact these individuals, but it better not be, I better see this happen soon and very soon. Like there was a saying in the church, but I'm very awake to the truth that they would talk about the rapture, and they would sing a song that say soon and very soon, but I better see this happen soon, or you're going to see some agencies basically that's going to be contacted, the authorities for sure, this time around. I'm not playing. This is not a game anymore. This is no back and forth. I had an individual saying, this is time to put up or shut up. I listened to Benjamin Fulford. I believe there's definitely truth for what he's saying. William Mott, I don't believe everything is not a conspiracy theory. Everything is not a hoax. Everything is not a scam. There is some truth, some facts to this, and I have documentation to back it up for sure. And me personally, I don't have a problem with the police, FBI, Securities Exchange Commission, because I have evidence, I have documentation to support my argument in this. But it's time for these individuals, I'm saying on their end, make this happen, or else, we're trying not to take it there. Some of us, any of my subscribers that are still watching this video too, I was going to ask you guys, I was contacted by a member of QAnon. So I want to put this out here too. Any members of QAnon, feel free to contact me. Too, by the way, you can reach me, and it's only, I need to see certain criteria, but hit me up again. There was a member, I can't remember, I didn't see the message, but I don't remember his name. But but any of you all out there know any members of Q, and I understand who Q is. I was actually invited to a call last year and kind of the year before where I got an idea. I figured out who Q was, or had kind of an idea. And I had an individual reach out to me, but reach out to me again, because I had so many messages and hits from people. It's hard for me to keep up, and I was looking for it, and I didn't see it anymore. So you may have to hit me up again how you did before, and I won't go over because I had some people email me that when I mentioned I was specific criteria that I was looking for. You could watch my previous videos. I put out my email address. I can't remember which one, but I'm looking for a member of Q. Hit me up, contact me. I don't have no problem sharing information. But if I am, however, speaking to that organization that I was part of, if you want me to keep my mouth shut, then you need to pay me what was due, because you're still holding my private documents. You got to understand that. Those are private documents under Privacy Act, federal laws involved. Still, I don't care if you guys feel like you're above the law, or you need to send those documents back and explain what you did to them or where they were being held at all of this time while we believed in you and thought that this was going to come through like you all promised. It's like giving people false hopes and false dreams. So I'm being fair. I'm going to contact the individuals to try to get better clarification, because when individuals get back with me, they weren't saying which video specifically these individuals were offended by or whatever. But we're not going to play this vacillation game back and forth, and you're not going to try to demoralize me or make me look bad to other people when you guys are the ones that are not keeping your word or your promise on what you're supposed to do and should have done by now at this point. Let's be clear on that. This is not a game, like I say. There's things that I know. I'm not saying everything, but this is it. I'm giving you all one last ultimatum. Better see this happen, come through by February. If there's no funding by February, that's it. It's a wrap. You guys are the names. I will go into more detail. And trust me, you know, you guys, some of you guys may have a lot of power, a lot of weight, but you ever heard of a one-man army? And there's some things I can go into, but you know, we're trying, like I said, we're trying not to take it there, but there was a lot of corruption that is going on too, that we just want to get paid. Because I said earlier, to reiterate, these guys, you guys have enough slaves in the system. You have enough people that want to be brainwashed. That's fine. They don't want to wake up. I'm not concerned about trying to wake those people up. That's fine. But those of us who attended the event and paid money for seminars and other things, when you guys are sleeping good at night, you're eating good, your families are taken care of, you don't have to worry about going to a punk-ass 9-to-5 job. You got to feel my pain, my frustration, and understand where I'm coming from. Because you take it to the next level, say, hey, I'm kicked out, whatever, I'm going to take it to the next level too. And it's going to be a next level that you're going to wish that you never seen. Because I'm not saying, you know, with all the power that some of you guys have, but you don't want to take it there, because there's things that I know, and the authorities definitely will be contacted. And I mean several agencies, not just one, but several. So this is one last call. I'm wrapping things up right now, right here. I want to thank you guys who did join me, who continue to follow me. You can follow me at Dorsey's Resource on Twitter, Facebook, and at Dorsey's Resource on YouTube. I also just joined, if you know about minds.com. I'm also on there. I haven't really done anything too much yet as of lately, but however, depending on how things go or how I hear back, you know, may depend. But like I said, I want to thank you guys for joining me so far, and that's a wrap.